Okay, now we're going to look at AEE, or Activity Energy Expenditure, which is the amount of energy that we expend while we're doing training. It's structured training, recreational activities, and can be other voluntary activities as well. But generally, for the purpose of this, we're going to do it with our structured exercise. Okay, so it's this is a really important thing to consider when we're dealing with endurance athletes, more so than our general population clients. When we're dealing with someone who does a high volume of exercise, we need to consider that when designing their meal plans and giving them calorie recommendations, simply because the high volume of exercise they do will influence that. There's a reason we see people when they're doing long distance runs, like half marathons, full marathons, etc., using goos and other gel devices, which are basically carb transport mechanisms to get more food in. It's because they're burning so much while they're doing the activity, they need to replenish that so they don't have performance suffering. So exercise is something that influences that, and the volume that you do. The NEAT is something that influences it, and the intensity of the exercise as well. Now, we already talked about NEAT. For a general population client, I really wouldn't worry about too much. For this purpose of this discussion, I would be focusing entirely on the structured exercise someone is doing. So the type of exercise is going to influence the amount of calories you burn. So cardio will beat strength training every single time. Strength training may do higher repair, due to recovery muscle repair process, but cardiovascular still wins. Okay, doesn't mean that cardio is better for fat loss. You should do both, but cardio does win on a unit of time basis. Now, the longer and more frequently you exercise, the higher your active energy expenditure. So this is where we really do need to consider people who are exercising multiple hours per day. But for most of us, we're not going to be working with too many clients like that. And also, body composition, heavier people are going to have a higher activity energy expenditure. So if I'm 100 kilos and I'm going for a run with someone who's 60 kilos, I'm going to burn more calories for that same amount of distance, purely because of the weight that I have to transport. And then fitness level, that can also do that as well. And that's because we have people who become more efficient at doing stuff over time. And this is why you can see people. I had one client who was doing Ironman triathlons, and he was surviving on 2,600 calories a day, but exercising like 3 hours a day. He had adapted his metabolism to a point where he actually didn't need that many calories to survive and thrive. His performance improved significantly while we were working together. But what happened for him, it was frustrating because it became harder to lose weight. So he became very efficient at performing the exercise. So his return on investment of time spent exercising was lower than what it should be in terms of the energy and caloric expenditure. And he had to really knuckle down on his diet, which for an endurance athlete is a real pain in the butt. So for most of us, AEE isn't important to worry about unless we're dealing with advanced level clients. Just be aware of it for days when people might go and do a fun run or something like that. They may need extra food. But for most general population clients, it's not a concern or anything I would bother with too often.